Hey guys, fellow model enthusiasts, I want to welcome you to another video. As usual, I thank you for watching my videos, I thank you for subscribing, and I thank you for the kind comments. I've got another model kit for you guys today. Recently I did a video, the latest in my little series of historic ships, the history of, and I did the Nantucket. I believe this was the motor vehicle, let's see, this was the LV-112. And I gave a brief history on lightships and the history of that lightship as well. Well, it ties in today because what I want to show you today is an actual model kit of the LV-112. And I present to you the Nantucket. This is a lightship that was stationed off about 100 miles south of Nantucket, off the coast of Massachusetts. You may or may not know that area is one of the busiest shipping lanes in the world. It goes through New York, and this was the lightship out 100 miles south of the coastline to help guide the ships. Now, if you want some history on this ship herself, I did do a video on her complete history, and I'll put the link in the description. But she was one of the longest running ships in this field. She was actually the biggest, and something interesting to note, she was actually paid for by the White Star Line. Now you may wonder why a United States Coast Guard ship was paid for by the British shipping company. Well, it's an interesting story. This ship right here is LV-112. Her predecessor was LV-117. On a foggy night, she ended up getting struck by the RMS Olympic, sister ship to the Titanic and the Britannic. And the accident cut the Nantucket right in half, and she sank within half a minute. So that is why the White Star Line had paid for this ship. This ship was made by the specifications of the Navy, including compartmentalizations and double hull, along with the double hull plating. Matter of fact, she was taken from the lightship in World War II, and she was painted and turned into the USS Nantucket, and she was used for patrols off the New England coast during World War II. Anyway, this model kit is by PYRO. Now, this isn't the original model where she first came out. I believe that was in the 50s, the late 50s. But this is the second issue of that kit. Let me see if I can get a date for you. I believe it's 1967. You can see the cover has a beautiful illustration of the ship. So the light in the front, let me see, I believe the one in the back was the rotating light, and the one in the front was the blinking light. Now, not all of them had two lights. There were some ships that just had one that rotated or one that blinked, but they were all equipped with foghorns, and it was actually known to make some of the crew members deaf. And you can see the lights right there. It's really, really interesting. Fascinating history. They don't use them anymore. The invent of satellites and global positioning really made this obsolete, but it's still a very interesting story, especially if you're into ships. So this is the Nantucket Relief Lightship. Not to be confused with one that was called Relief, because it was actually a lightship that had that name, Relief, but this is not it. You can see the side of the box. This is B213-400, made by PYRO. Quick, easy to build plastic hobby crafts. And they have the historic ships. You can see 75 cents. You can see the ships that they offered. $1.25 for the sailing ships, and we move up to $4 for the famous ships, and miscellaneous. Also available: cars, motorcycles, scooters, navy ships, dinosaurs, pistols, rifles, and anatomy. So I'm not that familiar with PYRO as a model company, but this is a very interesting kit. Let me show you the other side of the box. Again, kit B2-13400, Nantucket Relief Lightship. On the other side of the box, it gives you, well, just a tiny bit of the history. Really not too much on the ship. Let's see. The most famous of all the lightships in the U.S. Coast Guard service. She is equipped with the most modern and powerful equipment available. Powerful lights are shown at night, and foghorns sound in thick weather, and radio beacon signals are sounded 24 hours a day. The present lightship is 135 feet with a 30-foot beam. The crew consists of 24 men with 14 men on station. Again, quick and easy build, PYRO. And there's nothing on the back. Again, I love the picture on the front. Very nice painting. So why don't we go ahead, we'll take it over to the desk and I'll show you guys what's in the box. Alright, let's see what we got in here. Again, you got that beautiful box art. Put this up over there. Yeah. Alright, what do we got first? You can see. And looks like somebody had started this model already. And this would be the starboard side of the hull. You see the detailing on the side. Pretty nice. And what I would do is I would prime this and repaint it. It is colored plastic, the coloring of the hull, but I would repaint it. A little bit of touch-ups here and there, sanding. And let's see the port side of the hull. Same thing. You see the nice detail, the portholes. The portholes are drilled out. I guess if you had wanted to make the model and light it, which, I mean, it's a lightship. Of course, I'm going to light it. Let's see how easy the halves fit together, and I'll show you guys. I think the newer models, I'm not 100% sure, but I think the newer versions of this kit have the hull in one piece. You can see. And this is a pretty good sized model kit. This is, it doesn't say the scale. It doesn't give a scale, but it's a really good sized model. Actually, let me measure it for you guys. All right, so it's approximately 18 inches long. And let's say 5.5 inches wide. So it's a pretty good sized model kit. So that would put it at, I want to say 1/200 scale, but I'm not sure. So that's the hull. Put that aside. What else we got? And we go into the first of the trees. And it looks like there's colored plastic, but there's two colors. Main colors would be gray and tan. I'll take out one of the trees. You can see it has the lights themselves. And it's too bad because they look to be solid. So it'll be a little bit tricky on how to figure out how to light these. You can see the lanterns. I'll find a way, because it's a lightship. And I love lighting my models, and of course I have to light this model. You can see the the details on the masts. And you can see the deck vents. It's funny seeing them so large because I just did the Titanic, the 1/550 scale, and it was so small. These are a little bit bigger. You can see more. I'm not sure if these are deck vents or if these are fog horns. They're probably vents. Put that aside. Let's see, what's the next tree we got to show you guys? There's a lot of pieces that had fallen off the trees too, so I'll be showing you a lot of pieces that are loose. You can see a little bit of flass in the molding, but they're still pretty good. Remember, this is 1967, so I think that looks pretty darn good. The detail. You can see the doors, the hatch cover, the hatch windows. Nice. You can see the rivets. So the detail is pretty good. And this will paint up really nice. On the ship itself, all the superstructures were white. There's some more vents. And look, you got the rope. That's some good detail right there. I like that. That's nice. The rope on the pulleys. And looks like this. More vents on this side. I'll get them upside down. Let's see, there's one more large parts tree for the tan. You can see it's got a lifeboat. Let's see, how many lifeboats are there? There appear to be 2. But there's only one visible, so we'll see if there's another one. You can see the detail on the lifeboat itself. And again, it's a pretty good size. And we got some more of the walls. Look at the detail. That's very nice. Look at the doors. Love that. The portholes. You can see what appear to be some cables running along the walls. And you got another part of the superstructure. And because it's so large, this model kit should go together really nice. Alright, now I show you some of the loose pieces. Let's see. Looks like this could be part of the smokestack. Now the ship was built in 1936, and she was built with a smokestack. So this is how she is when she was first built. Keep in mind, she was refit in 1960, and when they refit her, they changed the engine. They swapped out the oil-fed boilers, and they put in a 900 horsepower diesel engine. So here's another lifeboat, so they do have 2. How come the other one looks like it had wood planks and this one doesn't? Unless this is a collapsible one. And is this possibly... This is possibly a piece that will go into the lifeboats. Let's see. Maybe. Maybe not. It looks like it could fit, but then again, you never know. And you have the base. You got the kind of almost like when it's in dry dock, or the basin ready to be fit out, where it's devoid of water and it's resting on the frames. So, one for the front and one for the back. Oh, and it looks like we have the other piece of the smokestack. Let me show you guys how they fit together. Keeping in mind this is 1967, and when it's put together in the tabs, it's off just a little. But there's nothing that a little bit of the putty can't fix. Plastic putty, and it'll look beautiful. Let's see, it looks like we have another lifeboat. So that's a total of 3 lifeboats. And this one has the wood planking, just like the first one that I showed you. So maybe this one would fit a little better on the what I showed you earlier. So yeah, this one goes into this boat much better. A lot of detail in these lifeboats, and they could be painted up really nice. So what else do we have for the tan? It looks like we have the propeller, and it looks like somebody painted it. Again, I would repaint that. Let's see. I don't know if these are broken pieces of the tree or if these are actual parts. But there are 2 of them. And there are 2 more small ones. Again, I don't know if these are parts of the tree that broke off, but that appears to be it for the tan trees. So now we can move on. Let's see what else we got in here. Oh, we have what appears to be the deck. And the deck appears to be tan. And it looks like somebody had already painted the top, and they used a ton of glue. You guys remember the old glue that came in the tubes and would gob everywhere and just make an awful mess. But that's part of our childhood. So I'll sand all this off, clean it up, prime it, and paint it, because I will be lighting it. But this was modeled in the tan as well. And we've got the gray. So let me show you guys the first tree. It looks like the handrails. And these are pretty nice. Nice detail. You know, it helps. The larger the model, the better the pieces look. That's why, ever since the 1/350 scales came out, I kind of got spoiled. Whether it's the Enterprise or the Titanic or the 1/200 scale Titanic, I much prefer to do large scale models because they're a lot easier to paint, they're easier to detail, and they look better. And you can see this part has the bollards. And what is that? Is that a lantern? Could be the lantern. I don't think, or it could be the foghorn, I'm not sure. We'll know when we look at the instruction sheet. So let's see, we got another one. And this appears to be the light, the frame for one of the lights. It looks like a crow's nest. Could be a crow's nest where the light go. The light would be coming out of that. And it has rings. Again, it's probably for the crow's nest. Let's see. And there's more. This appears to be handrails. So there's a lot of hand railing. That's what that tree is. Alright, so let's see. This one appears to be Searchlights. And it looks like staircases. And then the armature for the lifeboats. You get the the davits. I'm sure there are more because there's only 3 here. There could have been more on this side that perhaps broke off. And what's we got a bunch of smaller trees now. Ooh, it looks like we have a ship's wheel. And we got the anchor. I'll try to get that to focus for you guys. And you got the ship's wheel. Or 2 of them. Maybe one for... well, I'm not sure. And I'm not sure what these smaller pieces are. And you can see the other frames. Let's see, next up, oh, we have the doors for all the doorways. Those are nice. Actually, scratch that. Those aren't doors, those are life rafts. Or what appear to me to be life rafts. Of course, I probably am mistaken. And you got another, what appears to be a vent and lights. And then there are, I don't know if this is for the rigging. Let's see. We have what appear to be another, well, this looks more like a ladder instead of a staircase. And it looks like you have a winch or a generator. And we got another tree, but this one, there's nothing on this one. Let's see. Looks like we have the ship's bell on this one. That's nice. Again, the molding, the detail on the plastic is pretty awesome. You see another handrail, and you can see where the bell is going to be mounted. I want you to be able to see the detail on that. And speaking of detail, even the flag. Look at the flag. All the stars that are on the flag. This ship was commissioned and used by the United States Coast Guard. So I'm thinking this is the flag that goes at the bow section. And we got the flag that goes at the aft end of the ship, at the stern. And I don't know if you can see the detail. Pretty nice. And this will have to be painted on. Old Glory, Stars and Stripes. And it looks like the top of the bell, the frame for the bell. I could be wrong, or I probably am. And those pieces. Let's see. It looks to be another tree, but it looks to be broken. Oh, actually, no, there's a bunch of things on this tree. I'm not quite sure what these are. You can see it looks like maybe those are to tie off the ship. I'm not sure. And that's it for the trees. There are loose pieces for the gray as well. You can see one of the... This looks like a ladder, probably that runs up the mast. And there's another one, probably for the front and the back. And it looks like another, this looks like a crow's nest. the larger one, but it appears to be missing a piece. That's very unfortunate. You can see so that would have to be fixed. You can see the light would come up through the bottom. There has to be something around the lights so the sailors can go up and maintain them, whether they need to change the light bulb or... I don't know if they actually have light bulbs or what they have up there. But the last part, and it's tricky because they're tangled together. Looks like at the other crow's nest. But you can see there's a piece in there that's kind of... it's stuck and I don't want to pull it apart. There we go. Alright, so I'm not sure what this is. And the last piece... oh, nope, there are still a few more pieces in the gray. This is the crow's nest that I was showing you. This is probably the one in front, because the one in front doesn't have as much height to it. Yep. Nice. Alright. And there are randomly loose pieces now. The basket. And what are these? This looks like a compass tower, but I'm sure they didn't have a compass tower on the ship. I'm not quite sure. These pieces fit together, and you can see it's a tower or a stand for something. That looks like a good place to put a bell, but I'm not sure. Let's see. One of those rings that were missing off the tree. There's a small... another one of those small pieces. So it looks like all the pieces are here. They just have fallen off the trees, and given the year 1967, it's had a long time to be bounced around and shaken and maybe shipped. And I think we're all familiar with how the post office is. And it looks like another deck piece. And there's a couple more of these that are loose. And that appears to be it. There's a little ladder. Let's see, what else is in there? Looks to be part of, I don't know if this could be the anchor crane. I'm not quite sure what that is. But that's it for the loose gray pieces. Oh, there's another bag here. And it's got a couple of black pieces in it. I don't see any trees that are black. But this is the rudder. It's molded in black. I don't think... actually, it very well could be molded in tan. And it was just painted black. So that's the rudder. And there are a couple of pieces in here that look like they could be pushed in somewhere. I have no idea what these could be. And again, they could have been molded in gray. In fact, I think they were molded in gray and they were painted black, because you could see the paint that flaked off. And there are two of them. So I'm not quite sure what those are. And let's see, the last thing in here is nice. It comes with rigging. quite a bit of rigging there too. I didn't realize how much rigging gets used, because I had done a 1/250 scale of the Mayflower, and that used a lot of rigging. A lot more than I thought it would, like half a roll of, or half of a spool of the black thread. And then I recently did the Titanic 1/550 scale, and that used the rest of it, and I need a little bit more, so that took a lot of thread. And this gives you a really nice roll, and this is for all of the rigging. Looking at the box, or the picture on the box, you can see that there's quite a bit of rigging. You can see the lines. I don't know if those are Marconi lines, but they are antenna related. And the last thing we have in the box appear to be, yep, the instructions. Let's see if I can get the front. So it looks like this would be the front page. Yeah. Instructions for the easy assembly of the Nantucket Lightship, PYRO Plastic Corp., PYRO Park, Union, New Jersey 07083. Now they call it the Nantucket Lightship, but to be more appropriate or more accurate, this is LV-112. It doesn't say that anywhere on the box, but take my word for it. You can see this is the part 1. You can see the formation of the walls. And the formation of the rudder. And the formation of the walls, or the superstructure on the deck. Again, I'll put it up where you can pause it if you want to check it out. I'll put pictures up, and I'll put it in high definition so you're able to see it clearly, because these pictures are pretty cool. And it is from 1967, so it's an old kit. You can see the smokestack, the ladder that goes on it, and the roofs that go onto the pilot house and the other buildings on the front. You can see the winch. The captain's cabin is behind the pilot house. And that brings us to parts 17 to 24. And you get a little more involved. You can see the ventilation vents. And let's see, looks like the anchor hoist, the steam exhaust pipe, the air horn, the scoops, and moving on, this shows you the formations of the light systems, the radar dome and the frame, the pyramid antenna, the beacon light, and the beacon lights are solid, so I have to figure out a way to drill them to make them hollow so I can light them up. You can see the light frame, the antennas, the plain antenna spar, the electric cable, the forward light mast, and that little thing that I was showing you was for the bell, the two halves that came together. The aft light mast. So this will be pretty nice. And the pieces are big, so they appear that they would go together nicely. Again, I'll put this up so you can pause it if you want to read it. And that's everything on the front side. So when we go to the back, you get a little more detailed. You get the curved railings, you got the spotlight, the telegraph, and the searchlights that go on top of the pilot house. You can see the hand railing. It shows you, though, you actually have to alter the railings. You have to cut some off. And that goes on top of the pilot house and the captain's quarters. And you can see the rest of the placement of the railings and the mooring chocks. So basically it's a pretty straightforward model kit that appears to go together very well. You can see the lifeboats, the flooring boards that go in, and look, you can actually see the rudder, and they have the what is that, the propeller. Hopefully you can see that. And you would put this is the lifeboats on top. Is that the pilot's house? Pilot house, or the aft end of the ship. And that's what those brackets were for that boat. And it shows you more. Moving down. And now it shows you how to start the thread. Tie thread at the tip of aft radar frame on aft light unit. Run line to antenna for one. And it shows you how to basically put the rigging on. So that's a good little extra. And it includes the thread for the rigging. And shows you some more detail work. The flag, the anchor crane, more vents, more parts near the lifeboat, more railing, and you have the aft flag, the United States flag. And for the instructions for parts, steps 31 to 40. Then you have some more of the rigging instructions. Again, you can pause it to read it a little bit better. Hopefully the high definition is good enough for if you want to check it out, you can pause it and actually read it. And some more of the rigging. And for the rest of the rigging, you can just look at the cover. And interesting, there's no, you can make it the Relief or the Nantucket. And there are no decals with this kit. It's actually, you can see, cutting out the lettering and cement on both sides of the hull. Use Nantucket or Relief. See box top for location. So I'm not sure how good that would look. You can probably cut it out as well as you can, glue it to the side of the ship, and then paint it white. That's what I would do. Or what I think I'm going to do is I'll mask off the letters and I'll use the airbrush and I'll just airbrush them on. That would be a little bit more professional looking. So that is the instruction sheet. And that is everything that comes in this kit. You can see this is an older kit from 1967, and it's been around. You can see by the box it's been around the block. and get a better picture for you guys. The instructions and the parts. Like I said, this is a larger model kit, so it should go together relatively well. And detailing shouldn't be a problem. And you can see the instruction sheet will give you just about all of the instructions for the rigging. The only thing you'll have to look for is, let me bring it a little bit closer to you guys. On top, in between, you've got that kind of the antenna, and that comes down to the rigging, and that runs down to the I'm not sure where it goes. You can see the foghorn. But on the Titanic, I just did the Titanic, and these were the Marconi lines, and it ran down to the Marconi room. So this ship was built in 1936, so I'm thinking that this is an antenna to the telegraph room or the radio room. Of course, I could be wrong, and I probably am. But like I said to you guys in the intro, I had done a full history on this ship, on the Nantucket LV-112. And again, that is in the description if you want to check that out. But that was for the model kit by PYRO. Nantucket Lightship, you could do it as the Relief or the Nantucket. The differences are a little bit more than a name, because the Nantucket was larger than the Relief. But that's the model kit. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until I show you guys another vintage video, I hope you take care, and I'll see you very, very soon. Thanks for watching.